Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a Tol Dagor 20 that we managed to 2-chest. The affixes that we're looking at are fortified, teaming, and explosive. Now basically I'm just going to highlight some of the top skips in this dungeon to try and complete it in the quickest time possible. This is how we managed to 2-chest this key. I mean, if you're doing a lower level, you may even be able to 3-chest using this technique. Now during this skip, we just shroud straight up to the first boss and we don't even bother pulling any of the trash. So just, if you're going to use this technique, just be careful of your surroundings. Okay guys, now this first boss, being unfortified, is going to go down quite quickly. The only top tip I would give on this is that during the upheaval that the boss will target a random player with, you can actually shadow meld and it will bug the boss out a little bit and cause him to like either jump up in his original position. You're going to see here he's going to stay in his place as I move out. I don't really like this technique. I think it is a little bit kind of, sometimes if it goes wrong, you don't use a defensive, it doesn't seem worth it, but you might be interested. Okay, now initially after the first boss, you're going to get your tank or a rogue here to quickly pull these thugs away from the rest of the group as to not get you guys in combat. And then the rest of you are just going to run through as a unit as to not get in combat. You're then just going to res your tank and continue on with the dungeon. Now we have 2 rogues here, so we just optimize by having a double sap on the top of these stairs. You can kill those mobs. You can also, sap these mobs up ahead as we do, or again, you can pull them. Or you can use things like a Demon Hunter cage to lock both mobs out as well if you have a rogue and a Demon Hunter, or if you got 2 rogues, or however you want to optimize it. But pretty standard there with that. Okay, and then you're immediately after just going to sap and shroud past the rest of these mobs leading up onto the second boss floor. There you're just going to kill everything as normal. Now the only tip I've got for the second boss is just to have an interrupt rotation with one person focusing the vicious mauling and everybody else trying to focus on interrupting the howling. Just be careful of Bobby, who when he's on low health will run away from the group and try and cast a fear on you, so just make sure you're looking out for that if you don't kill it quick enough. So by this point in the dungeon, we've just killed the second boss. With killing these mobs directly after the second boss, we're at about 25% of the mob count required. Now what we attempt to do here after that is just rush everything to the cannon. So we try and do a death skip that probably isn't really necessary, but I'd say it definitely works out and is probably the reason why we managed to get a 2-chest. But you end up death skipping past all of this. Because unfortified, a lot of these mobs, their health count is just way too high. So we death skip this, we end up screwing it up as I'm mentioning, and our healer manages to get in a good spot to res the rest of us. Just be careful, this week obviously it's explosive, so just be careful when you're doing these skips and stuff that you are making sure that you're watching out for those explosives, because they can really be the thing that kind of cock blocks you in a way. Now, as I say, our healer here manages to do a good job of getting a shadow meld off and then just rezzing us. Our rogue preemptively had already opened the gate, which was good. So we end up all just rezzing up. We shroud over to the cannons, and then from there we just start getting up to about 75-ish% of our mob count for the rest of the dungeon. And then you just kill the last 2 bosses, and it's pretty much GG. The only thing I would say here is just be very careful of this barrel on the floor, because if someone in the cannon does manage to hit that, then you're gonna have a bad time. Then we farm up all of the mob count up to about 76%. Bear in mind this is on teaming, so it might differ slightly. After that, you end up just doing the third boss. There's nothing really complex there, just move the barrels, don't be a dummy. Then it's just kill the last boss. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please give a follow if you enjoyed it and want to see more. Thanks.